Hey everybody, Talls here with another video. I'll be doing a new player analysis, and we'll be talking about Kira mainly, because he is the newest addition to PWC. And so, let's take a look at him at level 50, right? So, for starters here, I got his growths pulled up here, so obviously, if you are planning to train him ever, speed and kick are the focus here, which will be pretty apparent as I go through the rest of his kit. But these are his current rates at 50, starting speed's 20, training boost is 18%, speed fixed bonus is 21. So every time you hit a tile, you get 21 speed times this 4.4 boost from the constant speed boost. And he's got Ultra Shuttle Run, Special Training, 28%. So pretty speed focused stats wise. Could make a okay support at 50 if you're if you really have no other option. He does only have one tile, which is this purple Ultra Shuttle. I can give Trap Master and Shadow Depth, which are two forward-based skills. And then he also will give forward compatibility, the double circle. I think the only other character who gave this beforehand was Rin V1, so it is nice to see this on a newer character. But in most speed runs, your unit isn't going to end up in the forward slot currently, so it's kind of a dead skill. I do want to note that when you get that, you get turn extension of 2 turns, so pretty good. Also, when training him, he gets like 3,000 to all stats right away, and after checkpoint 1, he gets awakening, kind of like X Nagi and X Rayo. At 50, he's training support wise, he's like just a better version of Loki, because Loki, as you can see, he doesn't start getting those special training and things until way later into his kit. So he Kira's a bit better at 50, and Loki's gives up to 2 turns, whereas his gives 2 turns. But Loki's skill is better that he gives double time. So I'd weigh the pros and cons there, but overall, he's pretty comparable at 50 to Loki. And yeah, let's also go into, let's just for the sake of pulling up, because the next slide is him at level 100 here. So taking a look at level 100, he is a lot more fleshed out, as you can see, right? So you got that Ultra Shuttle grade bonus, right? He gets kicked fixed power, which is super random and like a dead stat, honestly. It really, it's so bizarre here, but it's fine, I guess. And then obviously he gets that 100% special lecture. This is going to be pretty common, I think, from now on, with all these characters. And then he gets training bonus 15%, which is, I mean, it's all right. It's not the best, but it just overall makes your trainings a little better. At 65, you can see that he gets the gold shoot card here. The skills from this are pretty shit. But the things that do matter are his face card and this bright green shuttle, which is a new tile for us. So bright green shuttle will, you can't really read it from here, so I broke it down. It'll always give an extra turn, unlike the purple cards, which is really good. And it will always put you into awakening into the world. So honestly, the tile is really strong. It's like a better version than the Christmas Chigiri version of this tile. And then his face tile here, the things that are important to note is that you don't consume condition when you're in awakening and extreme with this tile. It'll say it here. It gives 3 stages of extra bonus, which is, I think, the only thing that does that right now. And then you can Goal Getter. Goal Getter is a pretty good skill. So when activated, it boosts your shot range, speed and kick power of this player for a certain length of time. This skill itself is like pretty strong. I would imagine for whales, this skill will probably slot in really well with the 311. Assuming you can get your Fierce Demon of Shots and Demon of Shots, this will give even extra range. So these are both like they're pretty important skills, but I would still probably put Kira lower on your priority. It's more so for a whale-based composition, in my opinion. And so, with all that in mind, he, as a unit himself, he has a couple cards that give a lot of extra turns, a really strong face tile, and overall okay stats, but he's kind of just a side grade to Chigiri, honestly. Let's break down that kind of difference, right? Because I think the main discussion is, well, who is better to use in your trainings, right? And if you're purely training speed, I think some of the time it might still just be Christmas Chigiri here, right? So first off, you can see the stat breakdowns, right? But so that 30% training bonus, the Ultra Shuttle grade bonus, those are the same. The fix is the same. The constant speed boost is the same, right? And then the level, the talent, the revealed talent, this is also the same, right? Where Chigiri outshines is he gets an extra 20 special training. And then he also can give up to 4 turns with his skill. He can give up to 4 extra turns with his skill here, which is very, very good. And then, like I mentioned before, this tile here, the Christmas, I think that's just the Christmas tile. It puts you into Awakening, but it won't give you that extra turn. So it's a little worse, but they have like the same otherwise stats, like 6 more than a gold training. So they're the same there. And then the face tile for Christmas Chigiri, once again, it's got that 6 from gold training like the other one. It only gets 2 stages of extra bonus. But then the skill it gives, Heart and Soul, is actually a lot better for your speed units overall, right? So for a certain length of time after the skill is activated, boost the speed of this player, reduce the speed of the opposing team, right? That's very strong. And then it greatly boosts attack rate of this player, so better for pushes and things like that, but it's more so for that decrease there is very, very useful. And then he still has 2 tiles in his kit that can possibly give extra turns. It's a 50-50, right? You either do or you don't get it. It is what it is. But the skills here, too, are also really good, right? Like Velocity and Cross the Pass Adept are really strong if you're making like a midfielder, like even a speed defender would like some of these skills, right? Because if the speed defender gets the ball ever, they will be on the attack, so velocity is important there. And then this one comes up a little less, but on this tile, but Celerity is like a really good skill right now too, right? Because with speed being such a high and bloated stat, Celerity can help you kind of either edge closer to that what they currently have stat-wise, or even beat them, right? And then, I mean, Assault's okay, right? Like, it's just a flat boost. It's fine as is. So I think, like, the bigger question is, well, like, who do you want to use, right? Currently, I think the consensus is if you have your Christmas Chigiri at 65, which allows him to get, I can show you because mine's 60, but so at 65, he gets that constant speed, right? And then he still has that 30 right there. Well, it'll be a little higher at 65, and then you get the extra tile that will possibly give you extra turns. It's probably better to use the Christmas Chigiri at 65, and then the Kira friend if you're training a speed character at that point. But honestly, if you have them both like level 50, like you got bad luck throughout the whole month on Christmas Chigiri, like kind of like how I did, right? Like I only have mine at 60. you're probably better off using the Christmas Chigiri as a friend slot, right? Because he just gives a lot more actual speed-focused stats, right? They're really comparable. Again, the bright green tile does kind of swing things. Extra turns is always better, right? Like guaranteed extra turns is always better. But I would say they're pretty much like side grades to each other. So like if you did max out your Christmas Chigiri to 100, I wouldn't be too concerned. He's still very strong and still a really good player. And speaking of players, let's kind of go into Kira as a player, right? So for here, we'll probably start with where he wants to be positioned, right? So if you go completely based off of his rainbow skill here, right? He gets boost shot success rate, keeping success rate from being lowered, even for shots far away from the goal. So if he has like, since he's a normal shot range player, it takes him longer to get into goal. And then there are certain skills that debuff, like shot success and things like that. This will kind of mitigate that. I don't know, boost speed and kick for the player for a short time, and you can use it twice in a match. Pretty decent overall rainbow skill, but the kind of issue I've already outlined in the current meta is that his normal shot range makes it so that if you do play him as a forward, he's just not going to be as consistent if you're playing 3-1-1, because you need that mid shot range. But the actual gem on him here is this just has to be wrong, right? So when activated, slightly boost overall stats of all teammates and boost attack success rate of this player. So overall, gives everybody on the team extra stats, makes it so his pushes are more successful, but you can only use it twice, whereas like a supportive skill like Shido's Explode is like limitless. So this is a strong skill. I think he would fit better as a midfielder for speed, but that is a role that is kind of dead right now due to how much speed creep there is and how hard people are trying to play to counter speed and things like that. Because he fills kind of the same niche as our X Nagi or Roulette Volley Nagi, right? Normal, wants speed, wants kick, and then Roulette Volley, I believe, is just it's just like the first half of like the skill that Kira has, right? The other important thing to note is the match skills, right? So scrolling all the way down here, because for some reason this game doesn't have a filter. I love that. Really good job, Riddell. All right, so he's all the way at the bottom. So generally all the newest characters will just get thrown all the way at the bottom for the record. So you do have to scroll to the bottom every single time. It's great. We love this game. So as I mentioned on the slide, he links with Isagi V3, Rin V2, and Kunigami V2, which are all, per my last video, pretty meta units right now, right? Egoist was a skill you could previously only get from Zantetsu. And this, it's pretty good. So if they score a goal, their stats are just boost for the rest of the match. Again, really strong in that like midfielder forward position. But again, speed forwards aren't really a thing right now. You get Adversary. So this one is a weird skill. And it pairs really well with his other gold skill, where his other gold skill boosts all teammate stats when it's activated, right? This one, when his stam decreases, so it's generally going to happen later into the match, you boost the overall stats of all teammates again, basically. So you can do it like 3 times in a match, which probably is pretty useful if you put him in like a speed defender type of position, right? Just as like a stat buffer. And then Unstoppable. So if he's in the forward position, the skill may activate. It boosts technical kick power and shot success rate and attack success rate up to twice. Again, I don't think he is going to be good as a forward for most compositions right now. So this this match skill is kind of worthless. The other two are pretty like good, all things considered. You could probably try to make like a defense Kira, like if you have like Rin at 100, but I wouldn't. You'd have to probably test that out. And then I think, are there any important training skills to kind of go over here? So training skills and stuff is probably another video in itself. But I do want to note that as we get more characters, these before weren't as amazing, but these are starting to become a little bit more important. I do want to try and point out Kira's, because he actually, from what I remember right now, has like some decent ones. If I could just filter this out. I hate this scrolling so... Okay, there we go. So, looks like they only gave him 2 so far. I think he does get a couple other ones, but this one here, from what I remember, is pretty good, because if you're training with a level 100 one and you have like a really high version of first selection cleared, you can get up to an extra 15 at max, an extra 15% of special training, which is pretty strong. And then I think this one also gives something similar. Yeah, this one gives special training rate as well. And this is for the Kunigami Chigiri card here. So both of these are pretty good. Worth considering using. Once again, I think in general, the Christmas Chigiri is a little stronger right now, but it's very marginal. Christmas Chigiri also synergizes pretty well with a lot of these other cards. He's got just more match links in general too. So like if you have like a high level Gaga, high level this skill, you will get more. Like this one gives special training. I think this one gives special training, and this one should give special training too. So yeah, the Christmas Chigiri having a couple extra links too does kind of marginally squeeze him out, but I would just say overall, Kira getting a one-off copy might be worth it if you can. If you can't, it's fine. He is in the permanent pool, so there is not a big rush. And you'll probably have many chances to get him. He is only here until the 10th, so probably another analysis video coming out after whatever drops we get. Comment, like, subscribe, and I guess tell me who you thought was the MVP of the U20 match, since we just finished that up yesterday. So, yeah.